Here's an example of what we call a scatter plot, which is basically just where we plot the points, but it shows you a nice physical application that even though plotting points is a pretty simple idea, it's very useful. We do this in statistics anytime we're working with data. It gives us a nice picture of the relationship between the variables. So this example here, I went and I found the electoral college information on the web and picked some states. Say I kind of randomly selected some different states here, and I got their populations in thousands and the number of electoral college votes. The idea is the more people you have in the state, the more electoral college votes you should get, but we're going to see it's not a perfectly linear relationship, although it is pretty close. So again, I would like to show you how to just do this by drawing it by hand, but if I try that on the computer, it is going to look terrible, so I'm going to use GeoGebra again. But first, let me talk a little bit about if you were to try to draw this yourself by hand, or even if you're going to use a computer, you've got to pick a good scale, okay? So we're going to draw more of an L-shaped axis because all the numbers are positive. We're only going to really need quadrant 1 that we mentioned a minute ago in the other video. So you look at your values, we can label our x-axis as the population in thousands, and we would be plotting these numbers. If we do that and we ignore for a minute that it's in thousands, my number goes up to about 20,000, 19,000 something. So maybe I could count by 5,000s and get to 20,000 pretty quickly on that scale. You could count by 2,000s and do 10 tick marks or so forth. The exact scale doesn't matter, but I need to be going all the way up to be able to show this 19,421,000. And then the electoral college votes, those are a lot smaller, so I could maybe count by 5s or so and go up to past 30. Okay. It's going to really squish the screen down here, but I'm going to try to show my data in GeoGebra at the same time. So I'm going to start over with a new one. Don't save, so we get a blank slate if we do that. Let's see, they always change where things are on all these. Let's try to find the settings. Click up here. If I go to the settings, looking for where I can change the XY axis. You can always, I think on GeoGebra, click on the screen and go to graphics is a shortcut way to get to them. So let's see, on my x-axis, I'm going to go from negative 5,000 to 20,000. And then on the y-axis, I'm going to go from negative 5 to 35. I always like to overshoot the max and the mins a little bit. Okay. So now we have a window that it'll fit in, and we just plot the points. I won't make you watch me plot them all. I'll pause the video in a minute, but first of all, we got 568,3. I'm going to also turn off the labels on the points. You can right click and do show label and turn it off. So the bigger your scale is, the harder it is to approximate where it would go. If this is 10,000, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each of these lines on the grid would be 2,000. So 568 is about a fourth of the way toward the first line, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3, and we would plot our point. Okay? And just keep doing that for all these. Again, I'm going to pause the video and do them all and let you see the result. Okay, so I paused the video and typed them all in there, and you see the plot. Again, for each one, pick any one of these, like 6,000 and 1110. I approximate where 6,000 is. Actually, 6,011, but it's going to be really close to 6,000. Again, my scale here, actually 2,000 is the way GeoGebra did it. So 1, 2, 3, there would be 6,011, close to that, and up 10. You'd have that point right there. Ooh, that point. It's not going to select it for me, but that point right there. There we go. So that's our scatter plot. Again, it's really nice picture of what's going on here. We can see that as the number of people in your population increases, that your number of electoral college votes increase. And if I were drawing this one on paper, it would be really important, or if I was creating a picture of this for a report or something, it would be really important to label my axis appropriately. The x-axis is actually thousands of people. I would want to make sure I note that. This is not 10,000, it's 10,000,000, which is actually 10 million. And then you have your number of electoral college votes. So that's an example of plotting points to create what's called a scatter plot, which is a really nice application.